Hi, AndrewAndrew here, about to see the Language Archive at the Laura Pels Theatre, spelled with an R-E, part of Roundabout. Language Archive is about a scientist, or a professor, I guess, who collects dead languages before they die. So it's about language, and it's about love, and it's about communication.
And I guess we're going to find out whether or not we think this is an archive worth visiting, or if maybe it should be put on the shelf.
That's a good one. There is one intermission, so we'll see you after Act 1, seeing the Language Archive. Also, in the press release, if I might add, it says that I don't know, we'll talk about it at the intermission.
Yeah.
AndrewAndrew, phoning in. Okay, so it's intermission at the show. When we walked into the theater, we were struck by this set. We loved the set because it's Neil Patel, who also did Title of Show. Number one reason. Number two reason is that he also does opera. Number three reason, he used a bottle of Lagavulin, our favorite scotch, in the show.
Yes.
So hats off to Neil Patel for his amazing set and very good taste in scotch.
You know, people are already citing in the comments section our alcohol-forward take on theater. I really don't think that mentioning scotch at intermission is the way to gain credibility with our critics.
So what do you think so far?
I think it's horribly pedantic, and it's jingoistic, and I'm shocked, I'm stunned that it's written by a woman, and that it was written a year ago, because this is the most sort of remedial, I don't know if you can say racist, but sort of first world
interesting point.
Viewpoint of the way things work. It's like a male fantasy of an infantile man who from the first world, who sees wisdom in the fool of the third world and of the other, and if that isn't bad enough, the pidgin English that these folksy, charming tribal peoples who can enlighten us, the truly enlightened ones, seems to be turned on and off like a hot water tap. They speak this ridiculous version of English, and then go into a more theatrical modality. I'm not surprised that it premiered in one of the most culturally backwards parts of this country, because it's so it's just so close-minded. The whole thing is so retroactive and countercultural, but not in the good way. I mean, against culture, against knowledge.
Let's see if you feel the same way after Act 2.
Oh, I do really like what's her name, though.
Oh, Jane.
Yeah, she's good in anything. She can act so well, just her face.
Let's go see Act 2, and we'll tell you what we really feel after that.
Not to be pedantic.
Your language was really good.
Thank you. So
it actually kind of trended up, I thought.
It did kind of trend up on the second act. Also, one thing I forgot to mention from before, but followed through to the second act, the sound design is really good.
Yeah, sound design was good. I do have to say that I don't understand where you're going with
wait a second, except for the very beginning of the second act with the audience participation. What are we in, Phala?
That was kind of
audience participation is the lowest form of theater, okay? Because as an audience member, I am participating by sitting in a seat and observing it, and I don't need you to tell me what to do. Which, by the way, a lot of telling and not showing, which we all know is the mark of a bad writer or a bad artist.
There's a lot of turning to the audience.
And then let me tell you how I felt about that particular
situation. I don't
situation.
see the whole thing that you were saying with the political ramifications. I didn't even see that. There were two great things, and their names. Jane Howdyshell, who we love. She was once she came on,
and
it
we're
was
not
like
just fans. I mean, we are fans of hers, but she really is just good.
She was great, and John Orton. Both of them were fantastic. Those were the three things: Jane, John, and the set designer.
The sound designer.
The things that I think could have been improved on was Matt Letcher. For some reason, it was, I thought, improper casting.
Yeah.
He came off like a newscaster, and I didn't feel any empathy. And I have a feeling that we should have been empathetic towards him.
Well, as the central figure, as the protagonist of the play, you'd think that maybe you'd want to be sympathetic with him.
I just didn't feel any sympathy towards him at all,
and not think that he's just a big baby.
I was much more interested in the other subplots, and also the other thing is the direction and blocking. I thought was it was off.
Nothing worse than bad blocking.
I thought, but. In general, the script, I thought, kind of saved itself in a sort of a Sarah Rule magicalness.
Oh, yeah.
Towards the end.
Way to go, Sarah Rule, with influencing everyone.
Yeah, I really thought the script was...
Yeah, but for my money, I'd rather just go see an actual Sarah Rule production.
Okay.
Instead of some sort of half-baked loaf of bread.
Oh, that's funny. If you see it, you'll understand.
Yeah, you'll see it. But I'm telling you, don't see it. So why would you want to get my joke?
Speaking of, go see Just for Jane. Speaking of the Language Archive, currently playing at...
Well, you're really mangling the language.
I know. The Sarah Pels
Just like
Theatre.
I mangled the Language Archive.
Esperanto.
Actually, the Esperanto thing is kind of cool. I like Esperanto.
We should have done the entire review in Esperanto.
That'd be a good idea.
Let's do it again.
Okay, we're going to do it again.
After 10 years when we learn it. Bye.
One more thing.
The show in general is not without its flaws, but it's also not without its merits.
It just has more flaws than merits.
You had to go there!